cognitively. Hey, yo. A dominant third grader. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm watching comedy. Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, man? What's up, my brother? I can't focus. I can't focus. Oh my god. I can't focus. I can't focus. Oh. Hey yo, hello Eric. Yeah, I'm listening to a comedy. Uh, I'm listening to this guy Corey Holcomb. Corey Holcomb, Craig Fax Smith. Those two are comedians, and Darlene OG Ortiz. Django feet. I can't focus. I can't focus. uh, nah, I don't smoke weed. Don't smoke weed. Don't drink. I don't do anything. Sorry. Don't do anything. Um, you don't matter. I don't smoke weed. What's going on, my brother? You don't matter to me. So whatever you think is whatever you think. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. I don't do anything. So take that as you will. I don't care. You know what that sounds like? No. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like projection. It's like a dude who lies all the time, calls everybody a liar because he can't stop lying. I need a metronome.
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
No, that's cool.
5, 6, 7, 8.
You're talking about four-way independence. Um, um, the thing about it is, what I do is I work with your feet first. And like what I do right now, do the same thing if you have the ability to. Put on a pair of headphones, run a metronome, and just, if you're, whatever pattern that you're trying to do with your feet, keep doing it until it becomes brainless, until it becomes mindless. That's what I do. I keep doing it until it just becomes muscle memory. I can, and what I usually do is, the reason why I listen to a metronome and like I'll watch something on a YouTube video or something like that is because it helps to kind of speed up the process. It makes your brain focus on something else. It trains you to focus on something else while your legs are moving. That's why I'll listen to a metronome while I'm working on a practice pad, or I'll watch if I'm on the kit, I'll watch a YouTube video and just practice the movements. And every once in a while, I'll listen to myself. Aegis GSX. Okay. West Java. Wow, Indonesia. Cool. If you can hold a beat, then you have rhythm. Rhythm is just if you can clap along to something, then you've got basic rhythm. it's just a way of refining it, refining that natural rhythm you have in you. Um, that's like if you can basically hold a note, you can kind of develop an ability to really really sing. Um, like for instance, Celine Dion didn't wake up she didn't come out the womb singing like that. It took years of just training. Beyonce, same thing. It took years of training. Whatever singer that you're used to, or whatever singer you're like, oh man, this person X, Y, and Z is a great singer. It's because they developed it over the years. Rhythm is the same thing. If you have basic rhythm, you can develop it. But again, just sit. It just takes time, just over and over and over and over, to a metronome. Without a metronome, just get the movements down. And look, bro, you accuse me of smoking weed, bro. Um, so, um, I ain't trying to hear all that. Um, Thank you. Um, but it's just it's just a matter of just practicing and practicing and doing it over and over and over. And I'll say this: don't ever say you can't do something. I tell people this all the time. Um, don't ever say you can't do something because you count yourself out of it before you even get there. Um, you can say, hey, I don't have the ability to right now. I don't even say that. I don't mention it. Like if somebody's like, can you play such and such? I'm like, no, I don't know that song. You know. Um, but especially to myself, I never tell myself, oh, I can't do that. You can do it. It just takes time, you know? Yeah. Practice rudiments. Like this is a good one. You know. Um it's just practice. Um Learn your rudiments because they'll get your hands into it. Once you learn rudiments, then you can kind of improvise and come up with stuff. What I was just doing was just flam taps. Um or um but or it's just get like definitely learn your rudiments. um oh, thank you. But yeah, just learn your rudiments, and whenever you play, just make sure it's not, if you're doing something, try to get the, you don't want your flams to sound like this, or you want them. So that might even, I mean, the reason why mine are pretty good, they're not where I want them, but the reason why mine are pretty good is because I would just sit there watching YouTube videos going, to a metronome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
And it's not very
1,
fast.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You know,
7,
I'm not doing
8.
anything
1,
really
2, 3,
fast
4,
or
5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1,
then you
2,
might want to
3,
challenge
4,
yourself,
5,
kind of add a
6,
different
7,
pattern.
8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Another good thing, this will develop your speed. It'll just develop everything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
You know,
7,
so
8.
and even that's kind of sloppy, but you get the point.
1, 2.
Once you do that, once you get your hand straight, I'm not gonna say it's easier. It's easier to kind of pull stuff off because your hands can go into autopilot. But I think adding your feet and your hands together, that's, you know, 4-way independence. That's pretty hard. You know, it's 6:07 in the morning, so otherwise I'd be able to demonstrate it on drums. But you know, there are different 4-way independence exercises that you could do. I have a book that's very good at this book right here. I highly recommend it. It's about $9. Stick control. That yeah. And this it'll get your brain into thinking in like quadrants, you know. Which you know, but that's just like the basics, man. Just keep doing it. Don't give up. Keep working at it. Don't ever say, I tell people this all the time. Don't ever say you can't do something. You can do it. You may not have developed the ability, but it'll come. It'll get there. Yeah. And this one right here, bro. That one too. Mm. I'm weak on the. Oh, it's 11 o'clock. Sheesh. 11 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, a.m. Yeah, 11 a.m. Okay. Well, yeah, you're good. Oh, no problem, my brother. Um, no offense, but Whiplash is like it's like the movie Fame for like dancers. You know, this, it's pretty yeah, it's pretty but Hollywood isn't real. Like for instance, you go to school and somebody throws an eraser at you, or they throw a teacher throws something at you. You're two things are gonna happen, or both. One, you're gonna get up and punch the guy in the face, and then two, you're gonna sue the school for having a teacher like that, or you're just gonna do both. But it's not real, man. It's not. You know, I've never seen the movie Whiplash. Um, I'm just not because personally I don't like seeing drum movies because they're never real. It's like, I mean, they just aren't. They're never real. Ah, another good way to develop. No, but I'd like to. Um, I mean, what do you mean you smell conspiracy talk? That's not conspiracy. Hollywood's fake. That's not a conspiracy. That's a fact. Hollywood's fake. You know. And I just don't watch drum movies because they never. It's just like I'd rather go on YouTube and watch Berkeley Shed. You know what I mean? Where you see the freshman students coming in, they set up a bunch of drum sets, and Berkeley films it. You know. Um, it just, and I'm not the only person. Like the average drummer is like, oh, that's not real. So you ask any other drummer, they'd be like, no, I've never watched Whiplash. Like, so. Well, I'll say this. The difference is, I say I don't have I'm almost 60, man. You get to a certain age where you just don't care what you say. You just say what you feel. You're past the whole being nice. And I mean, I like to be nice because I like to be nice, but I'm not going to necessarily spare someone's feelings. You know what I mean? So. A practice pad. Get this one. Sound Percussion, I think it is. It's a subsidiary of Vader, but it has a soft side, which is good for rebound, and it has a hard side. which is good for just developing. This feels closer to an actual snare, you know. But it gives you two different surfaces. I paid like $20 for this. And I'll say this. Hold on. This is a great pad. The little Vader. The little red Vaders. These are good. This only has one side, but this is good because you can develop finger technique. And I'll say this, finger technique will save your hands. Trust me when I tell you. They'll save your wrists, they'll save your hands, they'll save your elbows. I developed really bad carpal tunnel to where at the time I was working for this company. I was working for a property management company, and the insurance was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was so good. I went to a physical rehabilitation facility that was, like, I'm in Metro Atlanta, so it was like the Atlanta Falcons, the Atlanta Hawks, Atlanta Braves. At the time, Atlanta had a hockey team. So you'd see, Atlanta Thrashers, whatever popular, like, there was nothing to see professional athletes in there. So they gave me like a TENS machine, and they gave me this sonic thing that breaks down all the calcification and everything. It was pretty bad. But they were like, we're not going to give you cortisone shots, because what cortisone does is it depletes your joints of cartilage. And not only that, but you have to keep going. You got to keep going every so many months. And I ain't trying to hear that. Give me a solution that I don't have to keep giving you money. So that's why I like this place. But one of the guys he was part of the whole team or whatever. He was like, how'd you develop, bad carpal tunnel? I said, just from playing drums. So he had me come in with a practice pad and a pair of sticks, and he was like, let me see your technique. And I showed him. He was like, you got to relax. And he was like a 11,000th degree black belt in Kung Fu and everything. And he was like, what we say in Kung Fu is a fast muscle is a relaxed muscle. It's the AM here too. I can't play drums. I can play something on a practice pad though. Here you go, buddy. But yeah, basically what he was saying, man, you gotta relax. And like I said, he examined my style. And then he was just kind of like, instead of playing with your elbows and your wrist, you should play more with your hands and your fingers. This guy didn't play drums at all. He just knew. But yeah. Mm. But thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't know if you could I didn't know if you could, man. Come on, bro. My studio is kind of dirty, but um I'll show it to you. It's a mess, so don't judge. It's a total mess. Ah. Here's one. I don't know if you can see it. That guy's funny. Of course, iMac. And then this right here, this is an old school MacBook, but it's got a 1 terabyte solid state hard drive. The RAM is all maxed out. So it's an old school MacBook, but it really, it's, it's, it's powerful as a MacBook Pro. Of course, got the monitors and everything. Guitar, bunch of stuff, bunch of paintings my daughter did. Neumann U87. That's about a $4,000 microphone right there. More paintings my daughter did. I have this up here because what it does is this channel right here sounds really boxy. So I put that there to kind of keep the boxiness out. Of course, I got Zildjian's. This is a great symbol. Yeah, she does really good stuff. This, she also did this. That's her right there. I don't know what that's supposed to be. She's got like glow in the dark stuff. Of course, I got a video game, old Miss Pac-Man. Over here, I got an old school iMac. It's got a 1 terabyte drive, and the RAM is maxed out. So that thing's ridiculously fast. Bunch of lawn to do over here. I told you it's a mess, man. I'm a slob. But this is like Beat Station. The iMac, a Mac Mini right there. Yeah, all this stuff. Of course, the rest of the drum set, a bass. I got a practice pad kit. Now this is a whole kit right here. This is a practice pad kit. Got a drum set right there. I got another drum set here. Behind that curtain is 2 more drum sets. This, told you it's a mess, man. Laundry bag and stuff. This is a snom. Hold on. This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like when the snare is on. So, bunch of broken cymbals. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. Telescope. vision board. It's a mess, man. And another interface right there. I actually have 3 interfaces. So yeah, this is my microphone, of course. Room mic. That's this right here is a Telefunken. I can't remember what it's named. It's a Telefunken. Um, what's the name of those mics? AKG C414s. Got a C414 right there, C414 right there. Neumann mics, TLM 103s on the toms. It's a few of my spare cymbals right there, back there. But yeah. Yeah, so this is just some of the stuff that'll actually fit in here. The rest of the stuff is just, I don't know if you guys can see me. It's a 13 by 13 by like 15. Can you guys see me? Okay, good. Thank you. But no, it's a 1-car garage. We're actually our plan is to actually buy. Thank you. Okay. Our plan is to actually buy a bigger house because my wife, she's like, I'm tired of bringing in groceries from the rain. Thank you. She's like, I'm tired of bringing in groceries from the rain, so we need a house with a basement. So you can have your studio there. So, but yeah, there used to be a drum set here and a 7-piece setup over there. I had my 7-piece setup over there, but it was like a lot of the stuff was gone. There was like that where the Mac Pro and the Mac Mini is, that wasn't there. A lot of this stuff was gone. I used to have a big console. So I kind of made it like this to kind of make it more inviting, and more welcoming. You know what I mean? And really. What does it say? One has a Robin Hood. Huh? Is this in? Huh? One has a Robin Hood. That's true. Yeah. It depends on where you live. You can get something cheap and pretty nice here. No, Robert Thompson. Never heard of him. Robert Thompson. Yeah. Thank you, Joshua. Now, yeah, it's better times now. But yeah. So if you live in Metro Atlanta, you could get something you can get a lot of house for. No, I'm not. No, I'm not a band teacher. But if you live in 6:30. If you live in Metro Atlanta, you can get a lot of house for your money. You know. You know. Well, the guys nowadays, I don't know what kind of music you listen to, but if you've ever heard of Animals as Leaders, Matt Garska, he can play anything. He plays with them. He's done stuff with Chan. I like a lot of guitar based stuff. Wayne. I don't know who his drummer is. He's from like the Netherlands or something like that. Oh, so you know who Matt Garska is? Yeah, Matt Garska's a monster. He's one of those guys where you see him play, you're like, man, I suck. I ain't gonna play no more. He's one of those guys. He's too good. And then there's guys like Justin Tyson, El Espario. He's like an octopus. The YouTube guy, El Espario. The thing about YouTube drummers is they get a lot of flack. Oh, you're just a YouTube drummer. No, El Espario's the real deal. He's the real deal. Then again, and there's guys like Justin Tyson, Chris Dave, there's so many. John Bonham, Carl Palmer, Stuart Copeland, you know, Bill Ward, Mitch Mitchell, you know, who else? Dennis Chambers, Billy Cobham, Vinnie Colaiuta, Dave Weckl. There's so many. It's like Ronald Bruner, Thomas Pridgeon, Justin Brown. Let me see. There's like so many. Tony Royster. You know what? I don't care if you could be an 8-year-old kid playing drums, and if you're good and I like what you're doing, I'll sit and try to figure it out, man. I don't restrict myself. Oh, you're a little kid. What can you teach me? I don't care. Like, if you're good, if you're a 3-year-old and you see and you're doing something that I'm not able to do, I'm like, I'll you know, if I can't ask him, I see him on a YouTube video or something, I'll just be like, okay, well, I like what that little kid did. I'm gonna incorporate that in, like, you know what I mean? Like, I try to stay as humble as possible and always learning, you know. Yeah, you know. Yeah, of course, Bernard Purdie, Rick Marotta, Jeff Porcaro. Let me tell you, there's a reason why Jeff Porcaro was Quincy Jones' go-to drummer. Jeff Porcaro was a beast, man. Max Roach, Tony Williams, Louis Belson, Buddy Rich, you know, Marvin Smitty Smith, Davnis Prieto, Horatio Hernandez, Carlos Vega. I like everybody, man. There's another guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name. Zach. All I know him is Zach Beats. He's out of New York. He's a freak of nature. There's so many good drummers out there. There's so many good drummers out there. A lot of guys that like even, I'll say this. Like, I regularly go on, like, the Berklee School of Music, the YouTube channel, and they have Berklee sheds where the freshmen come in and they set up 4 drum sets. Terry Lynn Carrington, what's his name? Tony Thompson. There's another guy, Steve Jordan. But yeah, what they do, like, and most people know Steve Jordan from him playing with what's his name, the guitar player. I can't remember his name. Matter of fact, he got famous here in Atlanta. He did that Your Body is a Wonderland and all of that stuff. John Mayer. He did a lot of work with John. That's where he got famous in the pop world, with John Mayer. But if you know jazz and fusion, you know, he's been around for a while. Yeah, man. There's so many um you're in UK? Okay. Right now, well, I play with a I play with it's like a kind of Christian contemporary group, um which the band leader, he went to college and like played drums in college and what have you, played in the band. So although he's the band leader, um he's like, his expectations are really really high. um and so I play with them, and then I play with a jazz kind of it's not experimental, but it's just it's a jazz jam meetup. um I play with them, but I played, like, the first few bands I played in were, the first band I played in was a punk band. And I played with them for years. And then I played in just another band where we just did metal. That's it. Um and while I was with them, I also was doing just like, you know, the breakbeat Questlove kind of thing, in addition to metal. So I was kind of straddling the fence. In addition to like doing a lot of hip hop production, I was making beats and all kinds of stuff. Um, so I had my hands in everything, uh, everything. I tried to stay as Charlie Watts, man. How could I forget him? I try to stay Keith Moon. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many drummers, man. You know, there's so many. You know what? Ironically, between I think it was Buddy Miles, the drummer for Band of Gypsies, Hendrix's group band. I think it was Buddy Miles, the drummer. Billy Cox was on bass. Buddy Miles was on the drums. Between Mitch Mitchell and Buddy Miles, Mitch was way better. There's a reason why Hendrix, when Band of Gypsies broke up, he didn't get Buddy Miles. He got Mitch Mitchell. There's a reason why. Mitch Mitchell was a freak of nature. I'm sorry, man. Ginger Baker was alright, bro. But he wasn't no Mitch Mitchell. Sorry. He wasn't no Mitch Mitchell. Mitch Mitchell was literally playing jazz. He played with a traditional grip, and he was killing with traditional grip. So Terry Bozzio, Chad Wackerman, Chester Thompson, Phil Collins, Alex Acuna, Alphonse Mouzon. There's so many. Gary Husband, he's another drummer. He played with Alan Hallsworth, but then he started playing with like guys like Level 42 and like Go West. A lot of British bands. Well, of course he's from Britain, but he came to America and was like smashing, killing. There's a reason why, he became. Well, I'll say this. Also, he's a classically trained pianist. You know. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Mitch was wild, but he had a certain control and a certain, that's the perfect way. Yeah, there's a perfect way to put it. Yeah, he was wild, but he can control it. You know, um, and the dude, his rhythm, his timing, his feel, everything, like his touch, just like he could play anything. And I remember just really doing a deep dive on just like his background. He was he was a studio guy, and he was like maybe 17 or 18. you know, and he was a studio guy. Um, he was just like, you know, he played for the, you know, BBC and everything. Like he'd do commercial dates and stuff like that. But he was a well-known guy before, well-known amongst the, you know, the studio scene. You know, he would do, you know, radio program, whatever. You know, he was that guy. Kind of like Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page was that guy. You know, he was like a well-known studio guy. Same thing with John Paul Jones. You know, um, even with Zeppelin, I think. Well, I'll say Bonham. I think Bonham was an R&B drummer who chose to play rock. Bonham was funky, bro. Like, you know, really, 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 I would have loved to have heard that. But Bonham, he was Bonham was a monster, man, and Bonham was funky, bro. He was funky. Like that whole triplet bass, you know, bass drum lick stuff. He did it on their first album, Zeppelin 1, which was released in '69. I heard that same riff being played by Sugarfoot from the Ohio Players. And like, it was an album called, I think it was their album Skin Tight. But it was another cut. It wasn't the title cut. It was another like album cut, and he was playing like triplet bass stuff. I was like, man, you got that from Bonham. Now I don't know when, you know, when it came out, I wasn't, you know, but I was heavy into Zeppelin, and then when I got into funk, I heard him playing the same thing, but I was like, this is different. I was like, I know this came out in '69, but this came out in '73. I was like, Bonham was funky. A lot of dudes stole stuff from, even the whole triplet bass stuff that the gospel guys are doing. Dude, that's Bonham. That's, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I like so many drummers, man. There's so many. Manu Katché. What's his name? Oh, there's another guy. Johann Schmidt and Damian Schmidt. Gurgle Borlai, another one. Gurgle Borlai, he's a guy, his band. Oh, Marco Miniman. Thomas Lang. Thomas Hawk. There's so many drummers. Joey Jordison. Oh man, I can't remember the first Mike. Can't remember his name. Mike Mangini took his place, and he actually came back. The original Mike came back. I can't remember the name of the band. My brain is just, there's so many names floating through my head. But yeah, man, there's so many drummers that I like. So many drummers that I stole stuff from. Mike Portnoy. Yeah, he's back with them. Which makes sense. I like Mangini, and I like his technical ability, and I saw different drummers auditioning for them. And Mike Mangini, hands down, was the guy. He was the guy they needed. But Portnoy, it's just good to see Portnoy back, you know. But there's so many drummers, man, that are just, you know, that I flat out, I steal all kinds of stuff from everybody. I steal it from everybody. I don't care who you are. But at the same time, I you know, I try to give out as much as possible. So, you know, if somebody's like, hey man, I like that riff. You like it? This is how I did it. You know, so, but yeah, man, there's so many drummers, man. Man, there's so many drummers. I can't even think of all of them. If you play drums, even no name guys, even dudes like yeah, I'll tell dudes, if I go to an open jam, I'll be like, ooh, I'll pull out my phone and start recording. I'll be like, I'm stealing this, and they'll laugh, and then I'll go to the next jam session. They'll be like, you weren't lying. No, I'm not lying. I'm gonna steal your stuff. You know what I mean? People steal from me. I steal from other people. It doesn't matter. Like it's just exchange of ideas and information. You know, I don't mind telling it. You know, you know. But yeah, man, I pull from everybody. You know, that's how you develop your vocabulary, because you're never gonna play the stuff that you're getting from another drummer. You're never gonna play it exactly like them. You know, so. Okay, have a good run, my brother. Stay safe. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. You know, but yeah, man. I don't care who I get it from, where I get it from. It doesn't matter. You know, I don't. And I'm not stingy with the mustard, man. If somebody wants to see how how I do something, I'll actually, yo, man, I just did it like this. You know what I mean? Just do this. It's just this pattern and such. So, Al Foster, he's another great drummer. But yeah, so, and I'll say this, try to learn as much as possible. Try to learn as much as possible, you know, because again, like, if you see somebody play something, you know, you can't play it exactly the way they do it, because, you know, that's their riff. Also, I'll say this. There are times when I'll take a riff from someone, singles, doubles, paradiddles, and flams, and drags. But I do inverted paradiddles. And this is why. This sounds exactly like this. Which kind of sounds like this. So when I start my singles, I start with a single. I mean, when I start my doubles, I start with a single, an accented single. They all sound the same. And the reason why I do that is because people can't figure out what you're doing. They're like, wait a minute, what is he doing? Is he doing a paradiddle? But it looks different. Are those singles? Are those paradiddles? So I try to make them sound exactly the same. You know, so I try to get them to sound exactly the same. And plus, inverted paradiddles are just easier. But just I don't know, man. If you're learning something and it seems to, especially if it's a riff, and a lot of times I'll just do a shortcut, you know, I'll just simplify it, and that's my way of doing it. There was a point in time where I had to get it exactly the way this person did it, and I had to accent it the same way, and it's never going to sound exactly like that person. And at that point, if you're doing that, you're going to end up sounding on drums exactly. You're going to end up playing just like that person. And then years later, you're going to, at first, because I used to get this, man, you sound just like Billy Cobham. And I thought that was a compliment until I realized that's not a compliment. If they want Billy Cobham, they can pay Billy Cobham. or they can, you know what I mean? So I was like, that's not a compliment. So then I had to, it took years, and I still kind of sound like them, but it took years to undo all of the copycat stuff I did. So, and then I started thinking, nobody cares if I played something exactly like someone else. Nobody cares. As long as I can make the song sound good. Like nobody has a clipboard and is sitting in the audience like, check. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing all that. So I just I learned to give myself a break and not and just be myself, you know. Now it's good to learn other things, because that's how you build your vocabulary, you know. You make music professionally? What do you do? What does that say? Gems on life? I'll say this. I don't know how this is gonna come across, but all that red pill stuff is foolishness. Trust me, it's foolishness. Going on 20 years for 20 years of marriage, and it's not so cut. Let me tell you something. All that red pill stuff is a bunch of dudes who've never been married trying to tell people what a marriage is. And a marriage is an intimate friendship. Number one. Now, I do run my household. I lead my household. But I don't have all the, I say this all the time. I don't have, the reason why I married a college educated woman, because I know I just don't have all the answers. So, you know, I married a woman who's really, really smart, and who will pull me to the side and tell me about my BS. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'll say this. As a man, you run the ship. You are like, we're going in this direction. As a woman, so you're the navigator. You're the, you know, you do the navigating. Okay, we're going in this direction. The woman, she is logistics. A man, men have the ability to see the forest for the trees. When men see things, we can see how things play out. If you see something, you'd be like, this is what's going to happen. This was going to end up. It's going to end up happening. That's what's going to happen. That's men's gift. Women can see all the details. Now, if you use a forest, for example, a woman will see all the details. She'll say, we got enough money for gas. We got, you know what I mean? We got enough money for food. The kids are good, blah, 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 blah. But there's a pit right there. Men, and you know, and that's to get, she'll map everything out. She'll make sure that all the supplies are good. Like, hey, honey, maybe we need to slow down because we're running out of A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool. So that's women's gift. Men's gift is we have the ability, again, to see the end from the beginning. Women, they're so detail-oriented that they can't see the forest for the trees. So a lot of times women will get overwhelmed by what's happening, and you have to kind of remind them, hey, this is our plan. Remember, stay focused. This is our plan. But without a woman helping you, men miss a lot of details, and a man will just burn down the forest. Like, I'm trying to get over there. all you trees are in the way. I'm just gonna burn them all down, and you know what I mean. Now you didn't kill the wildlife and everything. So it's a partnership, man. You know. Now you got to choose a woman with character. You know, and expect that if she dressed like a hoe, you trying to wife her up. That's how you met her. So you can't. You got to pick a woman who's has a sense of kind of self-respect. You know. So you know, but that's the ultimate life advice. You know what I mean? And handle your emotions. You know, don't be driven by anger or anything like that. Let it go. Because I've seen anger eat people up. I've got family members where anger has just consumed them. You know, so, and I'll say this. If you really like something, like if you're pursuing music or you're whatever it is, don't stop. You know, even when everybody else is doing other things and I may have moved on, don't stop. You know, if you keep at it long enough, you're gonna make money. You know, if you keep at something long enough, you'll make a lot of money. You know. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Chris, you're exactly right, man. You're exactly right. Growing, what's up? Thank you. But yeah, so, but that's it, man. And this is a very important thing. There's a lot of crazy chicks and that ain't the word I want to. There's a lot of crazy chicks on social media. All that 4B stuff. They're a bunch of old future cat women. That you know what I mean. Like, I'll say this. My wife has her master's and she's considering getting her doctorate. So she's really smart. Um, but she ain't with all that women independent stuff. It's kind of stupid. Nobody's independent. You didn't come in this world, you know, alone. Somebody helped pull you out of your mama's coochie. You know what I mean? Like it's somebody helped. You know what I mean? Um, and if you got a job, somebody took a chance on you to hire you. You know, um, so whenever a woman starts talking that independent stuff, run the other way. Run the other way. It ain't worth it. Nobody's independent. You know what I mean? Um, so if she starts talking that, you know, because I'll say this, I don't care how great the conversation is. I don't care how, oh, she's funny. She makes me laugh. She's beautiful. Blah 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 blah. But she keeps talking this independent stuff. It ain't gonna change when you get married. You ain't gonna train her. You know, like you can't like no. You ain't gonna change her. You ain't gonna train her. And life is too short for you to try to train and change somebody. That being said, on social media is not reality. It's not. It's not reality. Um, it can seem like that. Um, if if all you do is look on social media, and then when you go out, you're going to the clubs and the bars, and you're seeing chicks that's they're in the clubs and like, what do you expect you're gonna get? You know what I mean? So, you know, but I personally, I know normal, regular women. They're, you know, they want to marry a man who's going to lead them, you know, who's going to, you know, even if, like, if you get a good woman, man, like, let me tell you something. People have said, oh, well, you know, if you go broke, your woman's going to leave you. No, I went broke. You know, I went broke multiple times. My wife ain't leave me. My wife was like, okay, what we going to do to get back? Let's work this out. There was times where I got fired and she was like, hey, well, I guess I got to do this. You know what I mean? Until you get back on your feet, I got this. You know what I mean? So you gotta, there are women out there that they'll have your back. You know what I mean? If she really loves you, she'll have your back, man. So, and they're out there. There's a lot of them out there. I know a lot of them. So, it's, and this is speaking from somebody who's going on 21 years of marriage. We've been together for 23 years and been married for almost 21. Thank you. Jedi Jingle Maker. What's going on, my brother? Yeah. Pick wisely, man. Pick wisely. Because if you go out and okay. You just got to be smart about the type of woman you're with. And I'll even jump out the window, man. Like for me, I've heard people say, well, you got to sleep with her. You got to, test ride and see. No, you don't. I didn't have to sleep with my wife to know she was the one. We didn't have to sleep together. Matter of fact, we didn't. You know what I mean? We waited until marriage, but you don't have to, you don't got to sleep with her. Let me tell you something. I had 90% of my relationships with women, if they were sexual, they were open. Because I was like, my first love is music. If you walk out the door, I'm still going to have music. So there's a door if you feel like it. So I would always put a clause. If any one of us catches feelings, let's just break it off. And I said that because I knew you were going to catch feelings. So if I broke it off, it wasn't a surprise. And those women, I knew I wasn't going to marry them. I knew I wasn't going to marry them. I didn't sleep with my wife. I knew I was going to marry her. I knew it. Off top. The first date, I knew I was going to marry her. I didn't have to sleep with her. I didn't have to do nothing. We, outside of peck on the lips, a little a little side hug. We didn't do anything. But I knew, we were supposed to be together. And I know it's, you know what I mean? But to be honest, man, there's no test driving, And a lot of times, I'm going to say this is a very unpopular opinion, but sex complicates things. Sex creates a bond with this person that normally you would not. Jay, my brother, what's popping? It creates a bond that normally, like, there's times where I'll be like, you knock a chick down, and then when you're finished, you're like, I don't even like you. Why are you here? But you don't want to be mean, but you don't want to be around her. She's an idiot. She's a good-looking idiot. She's a bit beautiful, but she's an idiot. You're like, ugh. Like when you hear her talk, it's just like nails scratching on a blackboard. Post-nut clarity. So and then what happens is you don't like her, but that's all you have in common, and you got this, bond and all of that. Man, get rid of all of that, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion based on well-established, facts. But, yeah, that's what it is. Post-nut clarity. Yeah. Post-nut clarity. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, that's what it is. Poking like, cause you know, you squirt, 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 and you like, and then in the back of your mind, like, how do I get this hooker out my house? And I don't want to be mean, cause then she's gonna be all stank, and you know, and I would like to knock her down later. I just don't want to hang around. So I don't want to have to go through that, man. Y'all know how. Come on, man. Y'all know how it is. You be like, man. And then you see her and you like, ugh. But you like this. And in your mind, you're like, you again? Why are you still here? Then she comes to your house and it's like, she want to do it. And you like, yeah, I could go for it right now, but not with her, man. Because I just don't, when it's over, I don't want to be around her. So you go through the whole motion of just, you knock her down, and God forbid if it's a good session, you like, dang, man. Now I gotta find a way to kick this chick out my house. Or if you're at her house, you like, then you start texting yourself. And you look on your phone. Oh, I gotta go. Okay, it's my mama. I gotta go. You know what I mean? So, man, you ain't got time for that, man. Come on, man. Y'all know how it is, man. Y'all know how it is. I'm telling you, man. You be like, man, please, I ain't got time for none of that. So I got to a point in my life, man, where I just made a decision. I said I'm gonna try this voluntary celibacy thing. And it was hard because I'm a musician. You know what I mean? And just by sheer virtue of that, you know, chicks being attracted to you is part of it. But after a while, man, I just kind of got used to it. And then I met my wife, and she kind of, you know, she was celibate longer than me. Um, and we kind of talked about our convictions, you know, and, you know, we agreed on, you know, we have the same principles, we have the same life goals. You know, she came from a broken family, I came from a broken family. You know, we had a lot in common, you know. And she was my best friend, man. My wife is my best friend. You know what I mean? Like, she's like you get to a point where like you got friendship rules. Like you got homie rules, you got bro rules. Like never smash, like when it was me and my boys, never smash another chick that your boy is smashing unless if you want to, talk to him about it. Like, yo, bro, what's up with her? How you feel about her? What's going on? So, oh, okay, it's no big deal. Of course, you don't mind if I knock her down. Oh no, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But just don't be snaking your boys. Well, it's the same thing, you know, with your wife. Like at the end of the day, me and my wife were best friends. So I'm not gonna sleep with another chick because that's violating friend rules. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like why would I do that? If I wouldn't violate your homeboy rules, you knocking down his woman behind his back. You know what I mean? Just honor the friendship that you have with your wife, and it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, and that doesn't mean I'm not attracted to other women. It means, yeah, I may be attracted to other women. I'll say this. If I see a chick, I'll be like, ugh. Yeah, and I don't care how fine she is. I'll be like, ugh, I would hate. Ugh, she's probably a headache to be around. Like, you know what I mean? So it's you got to remind yourself, man. You're cool and everything, but you would be a headache. Like, these are the things that go in my head. I'm like, no, man, you, mm-mm, no, you know what I mean? So try to find a woman that's like your best friend. You know, that's probably your wife. So y'all know what I'm talking about. You know. Oh, let me wait. I'll be back. I got to get my other son up. He's got to work out. Good. Ah, nobody left. But yeah, so that's a pretty, you know, that's some life advice. Um, I mean, I don't know. Like I'm just like I said before, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it. You know, eventually, I've heard somebody tell me this. You're if you keep at your gift, whatever it is, your gift will find. Will, if you make room for your gift will make room for you. Oh, he's right upstairs, and plus I ran up the stairs. Um, you know, um, you know, if your yeah, if your gift, you make room for your gift will make room for you. Um, and basically, if you keep at something long enough, eventually you're gonna make money at it. You know, um, just keep at it. I don't care what it is. Even like my son, he's kind of like at first he didn't know what he wanted to do. My older son, he didn't know what he wanted to do, but he liked eating. So he eventually came to the conclusion that, you know what, I want to start cooking this stuff. So he goes on online. He'll go to like TikTok or wherever and just look for different recipes and stuff like that, and he'll make it. So now he just wants to be a cook. My other son, it's a little different. He wants to be a streamer, but he he's 12 and he took the PSATs and he got an 1180. Um oh, thank you. You know, he got an 1180 on his PSATs. He's in the 99th percentile nationally in math. So he was like, "Oh, he was like, Dad, I want to be a streamer." I was like, "You want to be an engineer?" He's like, "I want to be a streamer." I was like, "No, you don't. You want to be an engineer." And he's like, "But I want to be a streamer." I'm like, "You can do both. You can go to college and be a streamer, but you're gonna be an engineer, you know." Um, so he's like, "Hey, I never thought of that." So my oldest daughter, she's in college to be a pediatrician. Um, she wanted to do first. She wanted to be a doctor, but The jazz jam I go to, the guy who runs it, his sister's a doctor, and his sister was like, "You don't want to be a doctor because you gotta pay for malpractice insurance." And she was like, "Tell your daughter she doesn't want to be a nurse because if you're a nurse, you gotta bathe old people." Eh. So she said, "Well, you can be an anesthesiologist because they make six figures, and if somebody dies, it becomes it's the head the anesthesiologist. It's their problem, not yours." And I told my daughter that, and she was like, And then after that, later on, she was like, "You know what? I like babies and I like medicine, so I'll be a pediatrician." So, real life skills. What do you mean real life skills? Um, I think as far as real life skills, that's up to your parents. You know, that's it's loud. There we go. Um, that's up to your parents. You know, I do stuff like this. Like, we would feed homeless people, and a lot of those homeless, we would literally, as a family, pack up. We go to Sam's Club because we got 4 kids, so we gotta go to Sam's Club. But we would go there and just make a bunch of ham and cheese or turkey and cheese sandwiches with the little drinks and an apple or an orange, and we buy plastic bags and we get cases of water, put it in there, and we go out to the messed up parts of town or whatever, where there's a bunch of homeless people, and we would feed them. But I did that because I don't want them to ever. I want them to know that they are no different than homeless people. Number one. Number two, when you see people out there, when you see homeless people, a lot of times you see people, crackheads. Like, we would see people like openly smoking crack, broad daylight. And I'd point them out. I'd be like, "See, he's smoking crack. Look at him." Or I would see somebody nodding out like this. I'd be like, "See that? That's either fentanyl or heroin, or some kind of opioid. You don't want to be like that. Look at them." You know what I mean? Or, like, I'll go home, New Jersey, and we go to the messed up parts of town. I'll be like, "See that person? He could have been a pro ball player. Look at him now. See her? She was the prettiest girl in school. Look at her now. That's what drugs did." You know what I mean? That's what you gotta do. You gotta let them. I don't believe in sheltering kids. You know what I mean? I don't believe in it. I tell my sons, like, you guys are good kids. You come from an intact family. There's gonna come a time where your homeboys are gonna start selling dope. And there's a 4-year plan. If he starts selling dope, you guys are seniors. He starts selling dope. By the time you graduate, he's got a brand new Benz and a pocket full of money. You're dead broke, eating ramen noodle, going to college. After that 4 years of college, during that 4 years, he will have gotten locked up. So by the time you get out, you got a nice corporate job or whatever. And meanwhile, he's just getting out of prison and he's got to start all over, plus he has a record. Which choice do you want? I also tell him, like, look, you guys come from a good family. There's a lot of scallywags out there. They're gonna look at you and they're gonna want that. They're gonna see you as like a way to come up. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like I hit my kids the game. You know what I mean? I hip them to the game. That's your job as a parent, you know. Let me open this door and make sure he's working out. Plus, you know, even like I got my sons working out because it promotes discipline, you know. And like it's not, you know, it's like physical education, all that stuff, just like recess, that stuff ain't, you know, they kind of squeeze that stuff out of the school system. So you got to provide some kind of way for them to get some kind of physical exercise, you know. 10 push-ups? That's easy. He said 10 push-ups for leaving us. I got bad wrists, but matter of fact, I did some inclines. Or declines. I don't know if you can see it. I guess they're called decline push-ups. I don't like regular push-ups because they kill my wrists. Decline they have an angle. I like to slow down the last one. Am I married? Yeah. But yeah, so no, Chris. Hey. I needed it anyway. I'm out of shape. I used to do like 1,000 push-ups a morning. I would warm up with 90 and do 10 sets of 100, all decline. And the way I got there was start off doing 5, 10 sets of 5, 10 sets of 7. So I got up to 10 sets of 7, all decline. Eventually, the 7 became 15, 15 became 25, 25 became 35, 35, you know what I mean? Until I got to 10 sets of 90. Once I got to 10 sets of 90, I just was like, add 10, keep going. Took about 6 months to get there. So it sounds kind of like, wow, 1,000, 10 sets of 100. It's really not. It's just incrementally just increase the number, you know, and your body gets used to it. So I just want to see if I could do it, actually. Yeah. Yeah, I told you I'm out of shape, bro. You know, I'm out of shape. But it doesn't take me much to get back in shape. You know, I know how to get back in shape, so. But yeah, so it just was, you know, I just did it incrementally. And I'm gonna say this: once you get to doing 10 sets of 10, I would have to do 90 to warm up. 90. I would have to just bust out 90. You know what I mean? For the blood to start flowing. And then I would just do 10 sets of 100. So it was really 1,090. But it just, you know, your body just gets used to it. And plus I went through a period where I wanted to see how much mass I could get, and I got to 240 pounds. Why you said why do all married people get out of shape? Because marriage takes up your time. You know, takes up a lot of your time. You yeah, it takes up your time. You know, once you get married, something's got to go. You know, and for me, um, 4 kids, being married with 4 kids, um, being a musician, always staying on top of my game musically. Um, it takes up a lot of time, you know. So it just is what it is, you know. That's why, to be honest, that's why I get up at 4:30 in the morning, because I don't, you know, there's a lot of things like I have to be really disciplined about. You know, I constantly have alarms because I want to know what time it is at all times. You know what I mean? Time management. You know, and that's another thing too. Um, Master time management. How you manage your time. You know, like live a disciplined life. Like I literally have a book on the disciplined life. You know, the main thing about having a disciplined life is time management. How you manage your time. You know, if you don't manage your time, you ain't gonna get nothing done. You know, so. No. You gain weight. You gain weight because you live a relaxed, sedentary lifestyle and you're eating like regularly. You're having like regular meals. Like yeah, you're having regular meals. You're not eating on the run. You're not, you know what I mean? You're having regular meals. Um I got married late in life. I got married at 39 and we had our first kid when I was 41. So our kids range from 18 to 10. Yeah. No, Chris, that's no eating. Bro, I have Halloween tax. You know what I mean? My kids go trick or treat. I'm like, okay, tax season. I need 25% of your candy. And I got 4 kids, so that's, you know. I'm from DC. Do I what? And plus, bro, we go to Sam's Club and we get these big boxes of snacks. You think I ain't gonna eat that stuff, Chris? Come on, bro. I'm like, I want those Cheetos, and I want the Cool Ranch Doritos, a couple bags of Funyuns, and I stash them to the side. You know, my kids know I eat their snacks. But to be honest, I weigh less now than I did when I was single. 198. When I was single, I was like 210, 215, between 210 and 215. When I turned 55 on my 55th birthday, this was during the pandemic. Um, I was 242, all muscle. I just wanted to see if I could ever get that big. Um, I was eating chicken, buffalo, like drinking protein shakes, you know, just lifting, creatine. lifting, lifting, lifting. I just want to see how big I could get, because I knew, I was like, I'm never gonna, I just want to see if I could do it. But I got huge, and your hips and your knees pay for it, you know. Yeah, I was there, bro. I was there on my 55th birthday. I'll never forget. I was like standing there like this. I would stand there like this. I would be like this, because it was just like, it was just too much, bro. I was always sweating. I had to I always wore like sweatpants or like shorts, like, basketball shorts or something like that, because I was just too big for my clothes. And I was like, I ain't buying no new stuff. I buy some sweats and stuff, but I ain't buying no. I gotta change my whole wardrobe. Um, and then I just decided, because it was expensive. It's to maintain all that. It's very expensive. It's very expensive. So I just lost it. I I just did a lot of cardio. I did a lot of cardio. I did a lot of lean and green. Um, I would go on carb restriction, not total keto. I would eat no carbs on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then Friday, because we have 4 kids, our family tradition is pizza popsicle movie night. We have a big 56-inch TV. So we would go to Sam's and buy the big cases of popsicles, and we buy about 6 pizzas, and we would invite the neighborhood kids over, and they would come and they would watch a movie. We got Disney or whatever, so they would watch a movie, give them pizza, give them a popsicle, for dessert. So it's pizza every Friday. Was pizza popsicle movie night. We still do it, but not as much. I think we do it every other Friday now. Now that the kids are older. But I would just like eat tons of pizza on Friday. And because I had restricted my body from carbs all those other days, Saturday morning I'd be like, it would be like steroids. I'd be like, holy smoke. So I would be down there shedding and practicing and blah, 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 blah. And on my exercise, like, and then it would last into Sunday. I'd be like, Sunday morning, trying to get myself into caloric deficit. And it took about 18 months, but I went from 240 to, I went from like 240 to 180. I was too skinny. It was ridiculous. I was way too skinny. But yeah, now I'm at like, I bounce between 198 and 201. So, max maybe 203, which is about right. My knees don't hurt, my ankles don't hurt, my hips don't hurt. Like your body will tell you when it's unnatural for you to when you're at an unnatural weight. How much weight you putting on the leg curl machine? This should be like, what's that? Okay. Give me 4 sets. Give me 4 sets of 12. But yeah. So it's because what I didn't want to do, I didn't want to be like all muscle, and then if you're not exercising, it turns all fat. So no, my kid's he's pretty strong. The 13-year-old, he's pretty strong. So and he'll probably end up doing more anyway. But yeah, so yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else life stuff I could possibly offer. Like I said, I'm just an average, you know, whatever. Average drummer, you know. Um, but I always say this, man. If you're gonna do it, stick to it. You know, even when your friend, like in terms of like if you're young, anybody in the chat that's young, if you're gonna do it, stick to it. You know, because you're gonna find a lot of your, like a lot of my friends are like, man, I should have kept playing piano. Man, you're great. Holy smokes. Man, I wish I would have kept playing guitar, or I wish I would have kept playing bass, or you know what I mean? So, you know, if you want to do something, do you. You know, like even my son, he said he wants to be a streamer. I'm like, you're gonna go to school, but you can still stream. You can be a streamer while you're in college. You know, I don't want to crush his dream, but I want to give him options. You know, Davis, you still want to be a streamer? Huh? Yes? Okay. I can't hear you, bro. You know I got bad ears. Huh? Oh, okay. Well. I don't know what that is. Oh, I can't do that now. It's too early. My all-time is 385. It's like 385. But again, I was 240 pounds, so my all-time squat is like 460, I think. Yeah, I think it was like 460. But again, I was 240 pounds. I should be able to squat that much, so. You know, and even, I'll be honest, like, bench pressing that much weight is not natural. Like I'm relatively slim. It's not natural. You know, your tendons and your bones and your ligaments, they'll let you know. It's not natural. It also sets goals. And you can track growth that way. Cause I mean, for me, if I don't keep track, I'll just be like, oh, we'll just slap. I'm not challenging myself. I'll just be like, oh, this feels good enough. You know, so. But that's just me, so, you know. I don't really know it. What? Why would I say that? I don't really trust stuff like that. No, I don't keep track of how much I don't work. I keep track of how much I do work. Yeah, I keep track of how much Zahide, Maddie. What's going on, Maddie? How you feeling this morning? Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not knocking it. I know for me, like I'm kind of blockheaded. I need something to kind of, you know. Mm. No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Okay. Um, um, would you say you polished your guitar? Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I didn't play, oh. Yeah, I didn't play snare in high school. Um, the irony about high school band is the people who knew I played drums would tell other people in the band, like, yo, you know Mark plays drums. And you're like, whatever, man. I was like a nerdy kid. I was like, I don't know if you guys remember Family Matters. I was like him, except I had really bad skin, like, really bad acne. Um, so I was kind of like a nerd. So, a lot of my friends, they'd be like, man, Mark's really good on drums, blah. You should really check him out, blah, 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 blah. He'd be like, man, whatever. And then it's funny because time went by, we're older, and, Facebook is like high school reunion. So sometimes I post videos on Facebook, and I would get, wow, you really are good, blah, 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 you're good, blah, 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 who do you play for, do you have music out, and this and that, man, we heard you were good. Now, the petty Pendergrass side of me is like, if you don't get out my face with all of that, but the grown adult, emotionally mature person is like, bro, stop holding grudges. Kids are stupid. When you're in high school, you're an idiot. You think you know everything. You know what I mean? So, whatever. Get over it. But it's, the band dudes, they were kind of like, they were jerks. So, in their world, they were the best and everything. So, and anybody outside of band or whatever was trash. So, but it's weird. I will say this. I'll tell people, like, yeah, you thought I sucked. Nah, man. No, bro. I remember specifically, we were standing in front of the Commons. You laughed. Let's not act like, let's not have revisionist history. That's what happened. I'll tell people, Yeah. Yeah, yeah. 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 So yeah, I'm like, I'm nice about it, but I'll be like, no, I remember you. No, 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 no. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I remember everything. I'm like, oh, yes, you did. I remember you telling such and such, blah, 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 blah. And they look at you like, oh, snap, how do you know? Yeah, I remember. I mean, it's cool now, but let's not have revisionist history now and like act like you were like the number one fan. Bro, you were like a jerk. Let's be honest, you were a jerk. Now, I ain't gonna you know, we're cool, but I'm not gonna smile in your. I can't do that. I can't do that. You know, if you got an issue with me, I may not have anything. You know, it may be I may be over it, but you're not gonna lie to me and tell me you ain't gonna pee on my head and tell me it's rain. Like it's no. I'm sorry. No. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. Yeah. It's like my oldest daughter. Um, she went through a really awkward phase in elementary school, and she's unusually beautiful, like unusually beautiful, to the point where people are like, "Is she really your child?" I'm like, "Yeah." You know, as she gets older, she, you know, for a while she looked just like me, except long hair and what have you. Now she's older and she looks more like her mom, but she still got the long hair and what have you. But there was a period where, you know, cause she's like me, she's shy, she's, you know, awkward, whatever. And jokers used to pick on her and whatever and tease her and everything. But now she's really beautiful, and those same guys are like, you know, and I have to tell her, don't hold a grudge. Kids are stupid. Don't hold a grudge. Don't. But she's like me. She's like, I don't forget. I don't forget what you said. I don't forget how you treated me. I don't forget. And I'm like, don't, you know, like we had to take her to therapy and what have you. So yeah. Oh, I know who that is. Ah, okay. You know, but I try not to. I try not to. I try not to. I mean, because that, like I said, it. I tell people this all the time. If you're angry, let it go. I know people where it ate them up, like it just anger consumed them. I have a family member who she just was angry, you know, angry at the lot that life gave her. Um, and I think when I think she got to a point where she just decided to let the anger go, you know. But it anger does manifest itself physically. It does manifest itself physically. Like she would like, you know, she would have like different ailments or high blood pressure or, you know, nervous conditions or migraines or, you know, fibromyalgia, like crazy stuff. And it was because she wasn't dealing with the anger. She didn't know how to let it go. So, you know, in the moment, check this out. The moment she learned to let it go, she started walking around with a smile on her face. And somebody proposed to her and she got married. Just like that. Just like that. I'm telling you. You know, she started radiating kind of like, because she's happy to be alive and she's just glad and she, you know what I mean? She's, you know, hey, I survived. I'm here. The moment she let that anger go, now she's happily married. You know, so. Say Dr. Dre from Timu, OJ Simpson. I can see OJ Simpson. Dr. Dre, I've gotten The Rock. I've gotten the two I get a lot is The Rock on meth, or David Goggins. That's David Goggins. You know, O.J. Simpson, I can see. My dad looked just like O.J. That's what's crazy. He looked just like him. But yeah, I get James Evans, the father from Good Times. I get, who else? Oh, when I had the goatee, I used to have a goatee. I would get Tupac. Especially when I was like slimmer and kind of like gripped up. They'd be like, Tupac, Tupac. Like, you know, yeah, I get David Goggins and The Rock on meth a lot. Hey, if I want a knife to. Yo, Chris, you too, bro. Wait a minute, huh? I don't get it. Oh. Oh, I get it. Well, it depends. It depends. Because I've given my kids knives. Like, I have an Egyptian dagger. It's like this big. My son wanted it. I got machetes and everything. I'm like, hey, you want a machete? Go out in the back and go cut them weeds, you know. But yeah, so, you know, it depends on the kid too. You know your kid's a nut job, you don't want to do that. You know your kid's kind of like outdoorsy, or, you know, kind of like, oh, you know, they like being outside and they're adventurous. Get them a knife, you know. So, like, my kids were outdoorsy and adventurous. Well, they were. Not anymore. I tell you what, I got gifted a, when I was like maybe 10, I got gifted a nice BB gun. The only thing is I had to use it to keep the possums out of the garbage cans. So, go figure. Yeah, I had to keep the rats and the possums out of the garbage can. Okay, every night you want this, but every night you gotta make sure the rats and the possums aren't in the garbage, and the raccoons aren't in the garbage cans. So, yeah. What time is it? 7:55. All right, I gotta go. I'll be back, you guys.